early caffeines I call. Ralph with tech news ready for all. Coding workouts getting us toned. By sunrise we'll be in the zone. Grab your Java, sip the brew. Headlines, tech tips just for you. Editing lines, making it tight. With every keystroke we see the light. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Push those reps in lines of code. Script the future fast and bold. From headlines deep to bites so bright, we're your guide to morning mites. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Coding flows, camaraderie grows. News unfolds and insight flows. Minute by minute, heartbeats pace. Come join us at the daily race. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Mornings are better with our grind. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully that song wakes you up. It is Coffee and Kata. I am not drinking coffee today, but I do have a cup of something to drink. I have this special cup, got it from work, from a mug exchange type thing, but I chose this one because of my best friend Mitch. You see, always ready to catch these hats. Are you ready to throw fists, right? So I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. I hope everyone had an absolutely amazing and stunning weekend, but guess what? The weekend is over. There are no days off. We are back to work. I was asleep late last night getting some stuff done. Busy weekend, tons of meetings, but you know how they say, hard work is good work. All right, so here's the deal. We are going to get into our large language models. Let me throw up a 45-minute timer. Because we gotta stay on track. We gotta stay on track, right? We'll probably go for about an hour, but I need the 45-minute timer to let me know, like, hey, we need to start winding down. All right, so 45 minutes is up. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna get into what we did last time. We're gonna be doing today, and we will go from there. So first and foremost, I want to do. We're not gonna do the whole news thing, but I do want to take a look at the numbers to review for the week, which we're gonna be because we're still gonna use that for Saturday mornings, and then we're gonna get into all the other stuff. Real quick, noon today we have Candid Conversations. It's about burning the right bridges, right? Not every bridge is meant to keep standing. You have to free your mind, burn every bond that tries to control your mind. All right, so. Let's jump into this news really quick, or not news, but the numbers to watch really quick, and then we're going to jump right into our large language model. Right, so let's give it a look. This one. So real quick, the December jobs report will be the key focus on this week's economic calendar. Investors have lowered their expectations for interest rate cuts in 2025 amid growing signs of a strong U.S. economy. Non-farm payrolls are expected to rise by 150,000, down from November's 227,000, with the unemployment rate unchanged at 4.2%, according to Bloomberg estimates. Investors will be looking to see signs of steady job growth in what one market watcher calls a new Goldilocks scenario for stocks. So this week we have upcoming. The Institute of Supply Management will release the monthly Purchasing Managers Index, which tracks non-manufacturing sectors, is expanding. So this would be the services Purchasing Manager Index. So this past Saturday, we reviewed the manufacturing Purchasing Manager Index. So we're going to look at the services this week. We also tomorrow, the Bureau of Labor Statistics will release the job openings and labor turnover for November, the JOLTS report, which measures job vacancies across industries. Is that for November or December? Okay, we'll make sure. But Wednesday, January 8th, the Federal Open Market Committee will release the minutes from its last policy setting meeting. Maybe what we're going to be learning in the project that we're going to be doing today and Wednesday, we can use that summarizer to get a better summary instead of that long document that they give us. So we'll see. Hopefully we can get to that. Thursday, January 9th, the U.S. Department of Labor will release the initial jobless claims, which tracks how many people are asking for help for the first time. So many data points this week. And then Friday, it's going to be a long Saturday show. Friday, January 10th, the Bureau of Labor Statistics will release the December jobs report. The monthly release tracks the unemployment rate and how many jobs were added to the economy. And last but not least, the University of Michigan will release its preliminary readings on January's Consumer Sentiment Index, which measures how Americans feel about current and future economic conditions. All right, so that's all the data points we're going to be reviewing on Saturday morning. So be ready for that. All right, let's get back to full screen, and we're going to go through a list of all the stuff that we have planned for today. So what's up, your car? How is it going? Mr. Technique is in the building. What's up, Mr. Technique? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you had a nice night, and it's probably still nighttime for you because it's early out there on the West Coast. All right. So let's jump into this. Let's not waste any time. Let's take a look at here. So this is on my website. I'll drop it in the chat in case anybody wants to review it. But I'll give a quick rundown of what we did on last Wednesday on New Year's. We installed Olama. We ran the version 3.2, which is about 20 gigs. We were about to get the version 3.3, but that was 42 gigs, and there was no way that we're going to download 42 gigs of data while we were on stream.
Do not come.
All right. So we interacted with Olama version 3.2, asked it some questions. I actually used it for some descriptions of some stuff that I was doing. And we looked at the different models that existed. We started to set up our data science environment. We cloned the LLM engineering GitHub repository that's for this course. We installed Anaconda. We installed Jupyter notebooks. We set up our .env file. So all of that is available in the first video that we did for our first episode. And we created our open AI key. I showed you how to create that. I did change my key, so you cannot use the key that I had. And then when we started to get into the project, there was one thing that I forgot to do, but I have that listed. I'll update that command right here. But yeah, so that is pretty much where we're at. But yesterday, as I was getting ready for this show, I thought of a way that I could actually zoom in on this a bit. That I could actually implement this large language model into my content creation process, right? So I'm going to list out that process, and then we will, and then then we'll get to it, right? So the way that I was thinking about what I was thinking, right? So basically, let me give you some insight in the way that I do a lot of this content creation, right? So I'll give you the example for the Q&A videos that I release Monday through Friday. So the video is edited and clipped up, uploaded and everything. And then once that happens, I have to get a title. I have to get a description. I have to get tags. I have to create a thumbnail, right? And all of that is using different AI tools. Like most of it is ChatGPT, getting the description, getting the tags and stuff like that, getting the thumbnail idea. But then when I go to actually create the thumbnail, then I take that over to Midjourney, right? And then from Midjourney, it generates the image, and then from that, I go and I take it to my image editing software where I do the finishing touches, right? Add a picture of me, I add some text and stuff like that, right? And I was like, you know what? If we're going to be learning large language models, we need to make it useful to us, right? And for me, I'm always looking at practical implementation, right? So I'm like, well, let's list out what we can build this large language model to do, right? So what I would want to, so I'm going to go into editing this post here, right? And so the personal long-term project, right? So automate my content creation workflow. So what I want to do is when I am, so my workflow would go to, so after the video is uploaded, right, it needs to be edited and, given all the metadata. So I want to just put, so the video is about this, right? So I'm going to document how I'm going to end up building this. So I want to pass, and this is how software is developed, right? Like by a need happening, and then you just start documenting how do you want it to work, right? So, and then we'll probably end up adding this to a Jira backlog, and breaking the stories up. But everything comes together at the end of the day, right? Everything is developing software. So when people are like, oh, this is going to take over that, I'm just thinking right on the fly. I was having a conversation with somebody who, who you are, kept me up way too late yesterday having a conversation about different courses, but it was a great conversation though. But then like that triggered me to think, you know what, we need to actually build something that is going to be helpful and useful and cut down the time that it takes you to do the menial task. So I'm going to say, all right, so I want to pass a description of what, let's say a general description of what the video is about, right? And from there, I want to be returned. I want to be provided some title options, right? Some title options to choose from. I want to be, all right, a description for the video, right? I want to be provided the tags for the video, right? And I want to be provided a thumbnail idea, right? So now because these are all these things that I'm talking about here, I do those in my creation process. So I'm like, all right, I just want to be able to pass one general description, like, so the video is about, I don't know, what are large language models, right? And I want to pass that, and I want to be returned a title to use, a description to use, the tags to use, a thumbnail idea, okay? And Then what we'll have to see is from there, so now the next thing I want to do, I want to take the thumbnail idea and pass it to, all right, take the thumbnail idea. I want to pass the thumbnail idea into the AI image generation software. And I'll just put Midjourney as the one, because that's the one that I use, but there's many different AI image generation softwares out there, right? So I'm going to say Midjourney. And then, and that happened. So maybe there's a Midjourney API. So let me do, is there a Midjourney API? Who knows, right? Who knows? But if there isn't, maybe there is a software that has, there is an image generation software that has an API that we can just pass it into. All right. And then the other thing I want to do, right? If I go back over here, I want to connect to the YouTube API, right? Pass in the title, description, tags, etc. Right? So then now, just by going through this workflow, it is going to get me a good 75% of the way there, right? So then I have to do the finishing touches. I might have to still customize the thumbnail so that I can I still customize the thumbnail so that I can put the finishing touches, upload it to YouTube and whatever other platforms I'm putting it on. But that would be what I have in mind to as a project that we could do for learning this large language model, and we can systematically go back and forth between what we're learning in the course and how do we build our own thing, how do we implement our own thing so that we actually get the right value out of the things that we're learning, And then you can so this is for my content creation process, all the parts that I use AI. If I can just automate, because by trade, I'm an automation engineer, QA automation engineer. I automate everything. I've automated stuff on AWS. I've automated everywhere, right? So now I'm well, how can I make my workflow faster? And I think if I can automate this workflow right here, that will save me a hell of a lot of time. Because let's say this workflow right here, it might take me about 10 to 15 minutes per video. And that is part of the reason that it slows me down in releasing the amount of clipped up videos that I want to, because if I have to do this for every single process, that just takes time away. But if I can do this and I reduce the time from 15 minutes to 5 minutes per video, oh my goodness, we are gonna go to the moon. All right, so that's the idea that I came up with last night, and how we can actually put this large language model stuff to use. All right, so let me update that so that it can be on the website. Where's my update button? Update. And if I refresh here, and it's not posted yet. All right, hold on. But it's coming. Anyways, but let me check the chat while this is loading. Let me see. We got my guy Magnetar17 in the building. What's up, Magnetar? I hope you're feeling better. I hope you are feeling better. We got Diggs BTW7. What's up, Diggs? I'm doing well. How about yourself? And yeah, I was talking about SSB7711. So as we're learning this large language models, I'm just thinking about how can I actually put it to practical use, because one of the things that I have a problem with when learning these things is that a lot of people do not put it to practical use. They just like, oh, I just got through the course. I got my certificate. That doesn't really mean much. But I don't know how to use it. So I'm like, all right, the very first thing that I'm thinking about is how does this relate to my workflow, to my life, and how can I put it to practical use? So that's why I just said, you know what, this is my content creation process that I use AI for. Let me see if we can end up building something around it, right? Let me see. We got my guy Tech Bag Trey in the. I swear, Tech Bag Trey is like my brother, like because I'll be like when he's on his show and I'm like before he says it, I'm thinking, oh, I'll do this. Oh yeah, you know what? Do you know that? And it's like he says it right after. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. But it's just, I've been in the same boat, and I'm automating a lot of the last 2 weeks, and we'll keep going. So exactly, you see, you know the struggle. You know the struggle. And SSB 7711 says, I'm also recently live streaming my project food delivery. Oh yeah, all right. Are you live streaming it on Twitch? If so, I am going to follow that because I don't really watch much on Twitch because it's mostly gaming stuff. But if you're streaming it on Twitch, I will definitely tune in and see what's going on. And it says, do follow me and check out. I definitely will do. I will do that as soon as I get off of here. But that is awesome. And Shay says, this is fact. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right. Anyways, let's jump into this. So that's pretty much the long-term vision for going through this course. But we're going to get into where we left off to activate or to set up our environment for Conda. And then we're going to get into Jupyter notebooks. All right, so let me switch. Let me just go to full screen real quick. And I'm going to switch to the other screen. Let me see. Let's go to another one of these. And let's zoom in. And let's go out there and get it. All right, so it was a very, very silly move on my end last week. So I tried to just do, let me see, where's my other notes? Where are my notes? It is, there we go, student dashboard, and right here. So I tried to do, this, right? So in the course, I took down the notes of doing this Conda, activate, LLMS, right? And it was like, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no environment called LLMS. I'm like, what in the world is going on? But you know what? Because I was multitasking, shout out to me, multitasking, right?
Bruh.
I missed the command to actually create the environment in Conda. So for those who don't know, Conda is used in, data science and stuff like that. It's a whole ecosystem, right? But what we need to do before we can actually do the activate the LLMS environment, we need to actually create the LLMS environment, right? So I'm going to go into CD. Where did I save this? Let me see. CD. Nope, not that one. Where did I save this last week? It was in, let me just do, hold on, let me find it. Let me find where I saved this. I think it's in development. CD development. Nope, not that one. Working on too many things. Where did I save that CD? Is it PyCharm? Yep, so it's in PyCharm. Right, so CD, PyCharm. And we're going to go into LLMS engineering, and we're going to do, let me see. Okay, so from here, we're going to do, let me see if it's going to be here. So the command that we need to do is conda. Let's see if it worked, right? Conda env for creating an environment, -f. And, okay, so let me see. All right, so now, actually, before I do that, let me see where is because we need to look for where that environment.yaml file is. So let me do ls one more time. All right, so there goes the file, environment.yaml, and that tells you how to set up the environment. So let's do it for real this time. We're gonna do, keeping you guys in suspense, All right, so we're gonna do conda activate, or conda, not activate, but conda env to create the environment, and then create, and then -f, and then environment.yml. And we're going to press enter. But before I press enter, do you guys, all right, I'm just kidding. I am just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna press enter for it. All right, let's press enter. And it is doing something. It is, let's see, collecting package metadata, solving the environment, and it's doing a bunch of stuff. Oh my God. I see matplotlibs in here. I'm about to cancel taking this course because matplotlibs is my arch nemesis. Mitch knows this, right? My arch nemesis. That is the reason. I was talking to Asia yesterday, and I was like, I started the machine learning data science course, and I just didn't have time to get to finish it. I didn't say that the reason I didn't have time is because matplotlibs kicked my butt, and we are enemies for life. Enemies for life, right? So that's the real truth behind why I didn't finish the machine learning course. It is what it is, though. SSB7711 said, streaming on Twitch will definitely follow you. So that's awesome. So executing transaction, installing pip dependency. So another thing, like while this is installing, right? In the conversation I was having yesterday about like these different courses to take, and because I have like all the different courses in the description of the videos that I've taken or that I am taking, and there was a common trend throughout, because like people always ask, oh, what language should I learn first? Should I learn Java? Should I learn JavaScript and web development? Should I learn Python? And for a while, because I was mostly in the QA automation side of things, I would say, well, Java is more popular for Selenium and stuff like that. But I have to change my answer to Python, right? I have to change my answer to Python, and here's why. In all the courses, right? So the 100 Days of Python, that is like, it teaches you like you learn Python in all different aspects, right? So like creating a GUI interface, creating using automation, web scraping, data science, data engineering, web development, front end, back end development, all that stuff, right? So it's a complete comprehensive course. But in the ethical hacking course that we're going to be starting on Thursday, that is heavily based in there's a big Python component. Like when you do the project, they're Python based. When looking at the data science course, right, that as well is a very heavy Python component, right? So all of these courses have a strong Python backing to them. Like this LMS course, Python backing. So I think at this point, so many things like are dependent on Python, that Python is the right move, because it makes you very, very mobile and agile. And then you can add on and pick up other languages after that, right? So anyways, so now that we have our environment created, it says to activate. So we're going to do, and this is the command that I had written down, where we're going to do conda activate LLMS, as you see right here. And our conda environment is activated, right? So the next thing is, now that our conda environment is activated, we want to open up Jupyter Labs, Jupyter Notebook. So let's see, how do we open up Jupyter? Let me see, is it just Jupyter? Let me see, hold on, let me just do an ls real quick. Let me clear this out, do an ls. Is there something called, there is not something called Jupyter in here. So what if we do clear oops, Jupyter. And do we just type in lab? Let me see, Jupyter lab. Let me see what happens there. Well, something's happening. Something is happening. Be patient, be patient. Oh, goodness gracious, something just happened, all right? So it opened up on the other screen. So I'm going to switch screens and you will see what is going on over there, right? So let's go over to here. And we have Jupyter Labs opened up where we're going to be using Jupyter to do our LLM project, right? Like LLM is hard to say. I'm just gonna, I need to find a better way. We're to do our labs, right? So let's say to do our language model labs, right? So it says build recommended, Jupyter lab build is suggested, plotly dash Jupyter labs needs to be included. All right, let's do build, whatever. Like we're learning. If we make a mistake, we just delete it and start over. I'm not worried about it, right? So let's click build. And there we go. It is done. If we go to notebook, so this is a new untitled notebook. So let's close this down and let's say discard. And if we go to week 1, day 1, and look at that, For those of you who are following along in the course, you know, this is where we're at. The first project is instant gratification. And let's see, build complete. Let's say save and reload. All right, there we go. So instant gratification project. So we can get started. If you prefer to work in IDEs, if you feel more comfortable in IDEs like VS Code or PyCharm, they're both great to work with these lab notebooks as well. But for now, we can just do it through here, and then we'll figure it out as we go along. But let's see. If you're already comfortable with today's material, please hang in there. You can move swiftly through the first few labs. We will get much more in depth as the weeks progress. And here's a cool thing. Here's a cool thing. When I was doing the 100 Days of Python course, they used Google Colab notebooks, which is pretty much Google's version of Jupyter notebooks, right? So you could technically do this in Google Colab, but you need to import this notebook and stuff. But then in the machine learning and data science course, then they had to set up Conda. So I have set up Conda before on a different laptop, and then we were using Jupyter notebooks. I was doing that on a different laptop. So this kind of resonates with me, right? All right, so let's continue on with our project, all right? So with day 1, so connecting to, so this is doing the imports of different tools that are going to be used in order to the different Python packages that are going to be used to do this project for today, right? So right now we are on the point of looking through Jupyter Labs, and then we're going to get into Beautiful Soup and OpenAI Key, right? So let's talk about connecting to OpenAI. We had added our OpenAI key to the environment variable, so that's good. So the next cell is where we load the environment variable in your .env file and connect to OpenAI, right? So if we look at, let me see if you make a change, try restarting the kernel, the Python process sitting behind the notebook by kernel menu. Okay, cool. So if we need that, we'll do that. All right, so load the .env, override equals true. API key is .os.get env OpenAI key. All right, so this is Python code, which that's why, like, and this course has an expectation of you knowing some Python. You don't have to be a Python guru, but you need to know some Python. And this is pretty basic. Load from the operating system, the environment variable for Open API key, and then it will go from there, right? So let's do. We can do, how do I run this again? Let me see. How do I run this again? We could do, all right, so I think it's over here somewhere. Let me see. Create a duplicate. Let me see. I just want to run, all right, run this cell and advance, all right? So let's go and click run this cell to see if our Open API key is registering. And it says, all right, so load.env. Okay, so we need to actually run this cell first. right? Not this. So we need to run this cell first so that it can actually do all the importing and stuff like that. So if we run this, so that goes through, right? So right now we're doing import OS, import request, import from .env, import load.env, the beautiful soup, all this stuff is being done, right? So now we go over here and we're gonna run this again. And now this error should go away because it should be able to find the load.env file, all right? So let's go to do that. And it says, let me see. All right, so API key found, looks good so far. Awesome, there we go. So we're good to go. So like I said, the .env file, I can actually show, how can I do that? Let's do this, right? So let me show you where the .env file lives. Let's go to T. All right, so if we go back to the other screen, and if I just do a ls, you're not going to see the .env file because the .env file is a hidden file because it has a dot. It starts with a dot. I learned that in this class the other day, right? I learned that in this class the other day. But if I do ls-a, is it? Yep, there you go. ls-a shows you everything, and there goes our .env file right here, right? I'm not going to show what's in the file because that has the open API key, and I do not want to change that again, right? But here we go. So let's clear that out and let's go back to the other screen. We are going to go over to here. All right. So now that so our API key is found, there goes our if. So our if statement is saying, check the key. If not found API key, right? Print no API key was found. Please head over to troubleshooting notebook, yada, yada, yada. If not API key starts with sk -proj, then that means API key was found, but it doesn't start with the standard OpenAI API, OpenAI API key, right? So that's another issue. And it says if it's found and it does not equal the API key, API key was found, but it looks like it might have a space or tab characters at the start or at the end. So that's another issue. But if none of these conditions are met, then that means the API key is found and everything is good to go, right? Now we're gonna move over to this next one over here. I wish there was a button I could just run the cell right from there because I don't wanna. Like, is there any shortcuts? Yeah. So I gave somebody a disclaimer yesterday that the way that my mind works, it's OCD times ADHD, and I get annoyed by little things. And I'm like, I don't like going all the way up to the top every single time I want to run the code. I need a shortcut, right? So let me see if there's a shortcut to run this. Let's do run. So to run the selected cell, it is Shift Enter, right? So if we go over here and we do Shift Enter, did it do anything? If this did that work? Let me see. It's Shift Enter, isn't it? Run selected cell. Is that Shift? It looks like Shift. Let me see. Yeah, it should be Shift Enter. I guess it worked. Let's do Shift Enter. Yep, that worked. All right, so we're good. So let's make a quick call to a frontier model to get started as a preview. So it says to give you a preview, calling OpenAI with these messages is easy. Any problem, head over to the troubleshooting. All right, cool. So I said this on Monday, right? Or not Monday, but last Wednesday. I said spend $5-10 to add credit to your OpenAI so that you can actually go through this project and you can actually like interact with it. It's the cost per call is minimal. So invest in yourself, right? You can be wasting your time away doing so many other things, but put it to use, put it to good use. So invest $5-10. It'll last you for a while. You can probably get through most of this course with that. So take that into consideration, okay? So let's make a quick call to a frontier model to get started. And then if we go over here to give you a preview, calling OpenAI with these messages is this easy. Any problems, head over to troubleshooting notebook. All right, so everything's gonna be head over to troubleshooting notebook, okay? So let's go to Shift Enter. And it says, so the message that we passed in was, hello, GPT. This is my first ever message to you. Hi. And it responded to saying, hello, welcome. I'm glad to be here and excited to chat with you. How can I assist you today? So what I am going to do is I'm going to make a slight change. So I'm going to say, hello. Hello, GPT. My name is Tech Coach Ralph. I am currently live streaming in the Coffee and Kata morning show, learning how to use large language models. What do you think about that? Let's try that, right? So we have that, and now, and like I said, I do not like to just, I do not like to just go with the flow. I want to be able to see my own stuff working. I really, really hate and despise just using what somebody gives me, because then I feel like I'm a robot, right? But I am not a robot. I create robots. I purchase robots. I have a robot cleaning my house right now. It's washing and mopping. So I do not want to be a robot and just methodically just doing what I'm told. I want to explore it for myself. And that's why I work the way that I work, right? So we're going to do enter over here. And let's see what happens. So it says, hello, Tech Coach Ralph. Hello. It sounds like you're diving into an exciting and rapidly evolving. Let me see. All right, you're good. Into an exciting and rapidly evolving field. Learning how to use large language models, LLMs, can open up a lot of possibilities for enhancing communication, automating tasks, and even creating innovative applications. Your live stream could provide valuable insights to your audience about how LLMs work and how they can be effectively utilized. If you have any specific questions or topics you'd like to discuss during your show, feel free to share. And that is why, like, I see, I feel, I understand the method behind the madness, right? So it's important to deviate from the given path so that you can build your own path forward. And on that path, it's going to be painful, right? But it's going to be rewarding. It's going to be rewarding because it's hard work, but hard work is good work. All right. So it says a class. So now we're onward with our first project. It said, can I zoom in a bit on this? All right, let me zoom in for you guys. All right, there we go. Much better. All right. So, all right, I'm zooming in because I'm old and my eyes are frail and senile and they need to see it bigger, right? I say I'm doing it for you, but it's because I'm old and my eyes they can't handle it anymore. They cannot handle it anymore, right? All right, so it says a class will represent a web page. If you're not familiar with classes, check out the Intermediate Python Notebook. Some websites need you to use proper headers when fetching. So the header would be like, so this header is a user agent. What a user agent is. So now we're going, oh my God. And this is why I say that everything is connected, from web development, from Python development, from, all that stuff, because the user agent is what your browser is sending to a web application to know that it is a browser and how to render so this is saying that it can be say that, okay, we're coming from a Internet Explorer, a Microsoft Edge, Firefox, Chrome, Opera. So the user agent is letting the application that you're connecting to know where you're coming from, so it can know how to render content. So if you don't have a user agent, some websites will say, so the website will literally tell you, do not come, because you might be a agent of chaos, right? So that's what the header is, what is passed to a web application, so that it can know how to render the content. Okay, and then so now it creates a class for what it's going to pass. Okay, so create this website object from the given URL using the Beautiful Soup library. So Beautiful Soup is a parser. It's a web parser, an XML parser, where it will connect to a website and it'll parse like the HTML. So then you can manipulate it to scrape websites, right? All right. So it says URL. So create this website. All right. So self URL response request dot get means that we're going to make a get request to this URL, right? The URL, we'll specify the URL, and then we are going to pass in the header, which contains the user agent, all right? You learned this in the 100 Days of Python. You learned this in the Web Development Bootcamp, and then we use it in data science. We use this in large language models. We use this in ethical hacking, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, I'm probably going to say Python is the one to learn first, right? So so now we're saying soup equals now beautiful soup, and then you're passing in the response dot content that we got from this request here. So like going to this website, we're going to get a response, and it's going to be the HTML. And we're saying, all right, we pass into beautiful soup, we pass in that, and we parse it via HTML, right? So that's what it's saying. Like I said, I learned about beautiful soup in the 100 Days of Python. All right, so now we're saying, all right, self.title equals soup.title.string if soup title. So if there's a title that exists, assign it to that. If not, then say that no title was found, and then for irrelevant in soup, so soup.body script style image input. So it's pretty much saying, like, get rid of all of this, irrelevant decomposed. And then self.text is says body.getText and separate by the /n and strip all of that so that you can have so it pretty much it's gathering and scraping the website content, right? So it says, let's try one. Change the website and add a print statement above to the following. So it says change. So that's right. Change the website and add a. So let's do this. First, we're going to just do this. This is the website of the person who created the course. So let's take a quick look at it real quick. So this is the website, right? Very plain, very basic, nothing major, right? So if we do this, right, I'm gonna do Shift Enter, and because we need to remember to do this first, and now we can do this one. So now it took all of the, so if we home, Edward Donner, home, outsmart, the arena. If we look at his website, home, outsmart, about, post, is like I'm who so-and-so, all of that, right? So now they say to change the website to something else. So let's go to, instead of using his website, what about if we go to let's try it with this. We'll try a couple. Right? We'll do let's do techcoachraft.dev. There goes one, right? And let's do an enter on that one. And we have TechCoachRalph, unlock your full technical potential, the Patreon, and then it talks about the different tiers because it's not logged in, all that type of stuff, right? All the different tiers, the Tech Explorers, the Tech Prodigy, the Tech Barbarians, all of that good stuff, right? And then it has, let me see, basically that's all that has, right? When you go to that. And so let's change it again to another one. Let me try techcoachingwithralph.com. And it works perfectly fine. Scrapes all the data as well.
The sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
That came out of nowhere, but we're having so much fun. So we're just gonna go for a little bit longer. If anybody in the chat has a website they would like me to pass in, a good website, it's too early in the morning to be mischievous, right? Then I'll pass it in. But let me check the chat for a second, and then we'll continue. Your car says that's because you're deep diving on the back end. You rarely work front end, so you don't talk about or learn Java, but you don't like design, so you have to say you're biased. when choosing a language? You know what, Yakar? I have a question for you, Yakar. I have a question.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
But, is he wrong though? Is he wrong? He is 100% correct. He's 100% correct. Says, when you build with Ralph, it's 60 days of backend, and he can only tolerate 2 days of front end development.
Bruh.
All right, Yakar, you cannot be telling all of my flaws because there are new people watching and they do not know how messed up that I am. All right. All right. And Magnetar says use USA job. All right, that sounds like a good one. Is it? Let me see. Let me just make sure it's usajobs.com. usajobs.com. Look at that. Magnetar mustered the last bit of strength that he has so that he can say, check out USA Jobs. All right, there you go, Magnetar. Because for you, I'm gonna do USA Jobs. Let me pass in the www. All right, because sometimes you don't put the www and it says like, oh, I don't know what to do. Right, so let's do enter on that. And look at that, we have USA Jobs, the official, the federal government's official employment website. And lucky for us, it is up. Is .gov? Ah, you're right. But I think it redirects though. Let me see if I do USA Jobs. Yeah, if I do usajobs.com, it redirects to .gov. So that's pretty cool. So it's able to handle the redirect. And it captures everything. So it captures everything. So what we'll do, let's leave it at that for now, right? And then come Wednesday, we will continue. We'll use USA Jobs for my guy Magnetar as he gets better. We'll use USA Jobs and we'll continue with modifying the prompt and passing in the relevant information for this project. And so I'm gonna go back. So let's leave it at that, right? We'll leave it at that. So USA Jobs we're gonna be using to do this, per Magnetar's request. And I'm gonna go to full screen. So as you wrap it up, another thing, I thought about this a couple of weeks ago for the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data, what we use on Saturday morning for our Saturday morning show. I wanted to be able to pass a URL so that it can summarize certain very, very long economic stuff, like what's coming out this week, right? For the minutes from the FMOC, right? So another side project, another quote unquote side project that we'll do as part of this course is, now that we know how to do this summarizer, right, as part of this project, we're going to implement that as part of our dictionary app in the morning. And we're going to have to figure out how to convert our code from Python to JavaScript, because the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data uses Node and JavaScript and stuff like that. So that's going to be a very, very fun project because I really want to be able to implement that on that. So it's like we're shifting from doing the dictionary app on Thursday afternoons to now sometimes in the morning. As we learn more about this large language model, we're going to be implementing it to actual practical projects so that we add value from day one. My goal is to always add value from day one. So that's the route that we're going, right? But yeah, so that's pretty much everything for today. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me check any last messages. I think we got everything. And Trey's laughing at my flaws. It is what it is, Trey. It is what it is, But we're gonna wrap it up for today. We did a lot. I'm happy that we actually got into Jupyter Notebooks. I'm happy that we were able to make sure that OpenAI API key is working. We're able to pass in some different websites. And next up is going to be getting rid of all the fluff So like, for example, we're going to be getting rid of all of this stuff over here, right? Like all the navigation type stuff, because this stuff doesn't need to be in our scraping. Maybe that, and then like, so keep what's necessary and get rid of all the extra stuff, and then summarize what that web page is about, right? So that's what's going to be next. I'm sharing what I'm looking at, but you'll see it on Wednesday, right? You'll see it on Wednesday. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember, we have Candid Conversations at noon today. It's premiering at noon. It's going to be a great conversation about why not every bridge is meant to be left standing. You have to burn some bridges and move on with your life. And then tomorrow we're going to have Q&A. Tomorrow evening, we're going to do Q&A. And we're going to, you have questions, I have answers, and we'll run it up that way. And that is about it. So with that being said, we're done for today. Thank you for tuning in. You guys have an amazing Monday. Have an amazing week. I will see you guys in the chat at noon. Goodbye and take care. Tech Coach Ralph is out.
Up, early caffeine's our call. Ralph with tech news ready for all. Coding workouts getting us toned. By sunrise we'll be in the zone. Grab your Java, sip the brew. Headlines, tech tips just for you. Editing lines, making it tight. With every keystroke we see the light. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day, stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech Coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Push those reps in lines of code. Script the future fast and bold. From headlines deep to bites so bright, we're your guide to morning mics. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day, stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech Coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Coding flows, camaraderie grows, news unfolds and insight flows. Minute by minute, heartbeats pace. Come join us at the daily race. CAA, wake up the day, stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech Coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day, stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech Coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech Coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Mornings are better with our grind.
We slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
Learn the code while the city slept tight. Now I'm slanging lines that spark like late night. From Python webs to TypeScript skies. React in my veins and APIs that rise. Keyboard clacking, I'm stacking gold. Syntax flows like stories untold. Drinking caffeine, I'm breathing in code. From morning dawn till the night unfolds.
My code goes long. My code goes deep. Caught in the stream where the data don't sleep. Need my digits. Better call my line.
jungle where the bites meet steel. Digital canvas where I paint and feel. JavaScript whispers in the code I weave. Tech dreams blossom in the lines I conceive. Lines so slick they can't be caught. Variables twisting every plot. Python powers every thought. JavaScript legit hitting the right spot.
My code goes long, my code goes deep. Caught in the stream where the data don't sleep. Need my digits, better call my line. Slanging massive code like it's story time.
Stacks on stacks, build my empire tall. Debugging dreams where the errors fall. Lines of brilliance break the darkest night. Script so dope, you can see me in the light. TypeScript magic on my fingertips. Reacts a canvas where logic flips. API dances, syncing clips. My code's a song where data drips.
My code goes long, my code goes deep. Caught in the stream where the data don't sleep. Need my digits, better call my line. Slanging massive code like it's story time. We're slanging massive code.
We're slanging massive code.
We're slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.